Have been here pretty recently in the last couple of years, but we do have some Panto veterans up tonight. So to give the first speech of the night, I'd like you all to give a very warm round of applause to Rachelle and Gopher. Thank you. So, how's the weather?
Steve, aka Gopher, has impeccable timing and has just gone to the loo. Yeah! So yay, Gopher in the loo. Sorry, I'm not, ignoring you all and looking at my phone. This is where my speech is written. Yay, the technology. Okay, so yeah, my name's Rachelle. I was one of the original Panto people before we were even called Panties. I think we called ourselves Pantoers or something lame like that back in 2003. Candy, you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, so obviously Panto's been a society for 10 years now with the Guild. Oh, who's this guy? But we did start. Behind me! We did start back in 2003 with a little show called The Search for Peter Pan's Nether Regions, which was held in the Curry Hall Dining Hall. And it was really awful because it was new to all of us. It was basically the brainchild of these two lovely people that came over from Bristol, Buzz Mostyn and James Wallace. And they took us on their Panto journey, and we all thought they were pretty strange. But we thought that we'd give this thing a try. And it was great because basically it consisted of mostly students from Tommy Moore and Curry Hall, or alumni thereof. And we all got kind of involved, and it was such a huge cross-section of the university. Engineers, sports science, arts science like myself, engineers like Steve. Drunks, yes, people that lived in the tab. No, everybody got into it, and it was a really, really awesome thing to connect with. So put your hand up if you were around for 2003. So a couple of us still in the audience. I've got a little bit to say and so does Steve, from ourselves, but I wanted to start with a few people who couldn't be here tonight. Namely, from myself, Amanda Johnson, who was one of the early members of Panto, and also one of the early El Presidentes. So a few words from her. She couldn't be here because she's down in Albany at the moment. So, she says, "My dearest Pantoers," Panties, she's not up with the cool kids. "It cannot possibly have been 10 years. My brain practically explodes even beginning to think about it. All those hours spent in rehearsals or painting the Dolphin Theatre floor and causing all our gorgeous actors to end up with black paint on their feet at 11 o'clock at night, or maybe, or making perhaps the dodgiest pantomime cow in history." Does anybody remember that first one? Yeah, horrendous. Paper mache head. Oh. And spending weeks picking orange fluff off everything I owned. Cow, tiger, pig, man, bear, pig. It seemed like it could only have been a year or so ago, surely. I'm thrilled to see how the society has thrived over the past 10 years, and look forward to seeing many more smut-filled, juvenile, yet thoroughly entertaining shows in the future. The shows we produced back in the beginning may not have impressed any critics, in brackets, a certain ABC radio theatre reviewer was particularly scathing. But he clearly doesn't know good, clean, and fun when he sees it. But it set the society up for years of all-inclusive theatre for years to come. I feel very strongly about the importance of inclusive, community-focused arts, regardless of the community. In our case, our community was the UWA student body, and our commitment to ensuring everyone got a part and was able to feel welcome is something I'm particularly proud of. I'm sorry I can't be with you this evening, but wish you an excellent time tonight. It's behind you, Amanda. One-time director, producer, writer, and Panto cow maker. Alright, so that was Amanda. Now Danny is another one of our founding members. She's over, where is she? In Melbourne? These days as an engineer, a sanitation engineer, or a poo doctor, as she likes to call herself. She's doing great things in the world, so it's really amazing what Danny's achieved. But Steve's going to read out her call out to all you panties.
Which I promise that is not completely right.
You might get that.
Which Candy understands what that's about. Okay. She says,
Dear Panties, first of all, thank you for the wonderful organisers of the event. 10 years, fuck! I feel old. Years old. Oh, I've been old. The fact that I can't be there with you drinking copious amounts of cheap booze breaks my heart. When I was in Panto, it was all about fun and laughter, and I don't doubt that's the way it still is. But with the benefit of being older and wiser, there are so many amazing things that being involved in Panto taught. Number one, in the first Panto ever, I didn't actually know until after the show that one of my lines was dirty. I didn't understand why it made the audience laugh until I asked somebody. Apparently, no, Zizak and dirty bush is a reference to the female genitals. Thank you, Panto, for stealing my innocence early on. 2. How to laugh at myself. Something I find incredibly useful in post-Panto life, particularly when I don't realise that I've just gotten up in front of 200 people and spoken about pubic hair.
Her current field is rather interesting.
Yeah, 200 people at Panto talking about pubic hair, occasionally the subject pops in. It's very subtle, they're always very subtle. How to call all-nighters for a week and a run on adrenaline, pizza and goon punch. Who can go wrong? But that going to lectures literally shaking from excessive Red Bull consumption is not conducive to learning. That's not true, Danny. Lies, children. Anything you could imagine can be built out of cardboard and gaffer tape. And maybe a set of stairs. That's a memory of Gopher in fishnets, and of course Scotty as Teen Angel and Chad as Tinkerbell. Very quick little can still make you giggle years later. I see some of those photos. When the picture can be, when that photo can be displayed. 6. The greatest contribution to society I may ever make is suggesting we all do the hokey pokey before going on stage. I think that's what everyone can relate to. Perfect conducive to conduct a show. Okay. So 6 also, because just 6 twice, that's pretty much in right in Panto script, that running around making a fool of yourself for 5 years is the best way to learn humility, build up your confidence and develop witty comebacks for whatever insults may be thrown at you. Have an amazing night and make sure you all have a drink for me. That's going to be a lot of drinks. And remember, however drunk you may get, it is never okay to piss on someone's heater.
I was there for that.
All right, thank you, Danny. Give a round of applause for Danny over in Melbourne. Okay, we've got one more telegram. This is from James Wallace, co-founder of the society. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get in contact with Buzz. We didn't hear that from her in time. Isabel, for those who don't know Buzz's actual name. But here's James Wallace. When Bradley recently contacted me, I'm not doing James's accent. Shut up. When Bradley recently contacted me to remind me the UWAPANTO Society was hitting its 10th year anniversary, I couldn't really believe it. What started out as an excuse for a couple of English exchanges to put on a show in a real theatre has continued stronger than I would have ever imagined in a lasting institution at UWA. It was great to meet many of you in 2012 and see how the society has been faring, brilliantly by the way, and I hope to make the journey back to Perth soon to see your next production. I'm so proud to have been a part of this society and that it continues so strongly today from its humble beginnings of the search for Peter Pan's Nether regions and Robin Hood's Big Beanstalk. Yeah! I also think it is testament to my co-founder Buzz, who organised me through the whole experience to get things going. Have a fantastic night, James. Alrighty, thank you for listening to those. Now, as for us, I had the pleasure of being involved in Panto from its beginnings at Curry Hall with Peter Pan in 2003. A sacrifice, not a sack of ice, he hasn't hurt his knee. Candy. Through to our last official Panto, or my last official Panto, Sherlock Holmes and the Hound of Pantopolis, in semester 2, 2007, from which the twat scene shall ever go down in history for being awesome. Yeah, if you weren't there, you want to know what that was all about, don't you? You should want to know. If anybody's interested, actually, Gopher found a whole bunch of old scripts, so hit him up for those if you want. I enjoyed my time as a member of cast and crew, as well as several years on the committee as president of Vice and Biscuit Wench. I lived in Panto Central for several years with 9 Vincent Street, Nedlands, being the script writing headquarters for various early Pantos, and also the location for various Panto parties, one of which resulted in a certain piece of Panto Cest, which has had a little bit of longevity. Put your hand up if you have partaken in Panto Cest during, yeah, come on, there you go, excellent. Well, for some people it works, for some people it doesn't, whatever. Okay, the joys of Panto Cest. Panto was great for being an outlet for creativity, for fostering inclusiveness, teamwork and making new friends. I have fond memories of late nights rehearsing in the Dolphin Theatre, wars with UDS. Yeah, they were serious wars. Trying to put mascara on Evo, it was a success. Evo not wearing any pants ever. Painting stairs, which incidentally can be turned into any piece of staging that you need. Yes. Wearing shower curtains as costumes. The entire Harry Potter masterpiece, I love that show. On stage mess-ups that ended in gold. See, Princess, Max Percy. We are way off time. You made my night. Do you remember that? Oh, so funny. Very, very well done. The Windows sound effect coming on accidentally to hilarious effect. Sellouts, jubilant curtain calls and waking up to the scent of urine in inappropriate areas of my house. Where's Juice? Not here. Oh well, we can say nasty things about him. Though I may not be an active member these days, I'm very proud of being a part of the early Panto sock and what you have gone on to achieve. I still catch the shows when I can and still rock a Panto t-shirt or 3 with a tag. Thanks.
So I myself joined not at the very first, because, you know, have an ounce of style or something, in real theatres where I joined in be the arse end of a cow, which was nearly the highlight, really. And from there, things went on, building up into being a totally respectable member of the writing team, transitioning through the memorable role of being a sweet trans pirate named Will Swallow from transsexual Tasmania.
We went and saw Rocky Horror the other night. It was just like reliving.
The best moments in Panto.
Yes. Days I could get away with running a corset. But after that, there's a lot of writing involved, because unfortunately people who aren't here, Scotty, Wacky.
Where is he? Scotty, his name.
Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Mostly what we remember about the writing sessions were the copious amounts of creative juices that were flowing. Mostly cider. Cider was a reliable favourite, the Strongbow. And then there was some nights, particularly with a certain Dustin Blackbird, where he and myself, there's probably more creative juices than there were actual creativity. I remember one night in our place in South Perth, like he'd come over and decided, oh, we'll get a couple of these old classic movies and watch them. One of them was The Princess Diaries, I can't remember what else. But basically, there was a lot of drinking, and the next day there was a bunch of notes written in a book. I couldn't quite read everything I'd written down. I couldn't quite remember writing much of it. but that's how we got things done back in the day, and it totally worked.
Has
So.
it changed?
Unacceptable. No. Probably one of the most memorable riding occasions where Scotty, Josh Smith and I went up to Lancelin. We went up camping. There was a small tent.
And a lot of men.
A lot of foul body odour, a large amount of booze, and if you want to know, there was a little old man with his grandchildren at the campsite we were staying at, who had to tell his kids to do what your nana told you, and we were just so inspired by this beautiful moment, and as most writers of fine literature are inspired by real life, so we just had to include that into the show. So yes, a lot of good memories, a lot of interesting costumes, and a lot of many creative juices to get the job done. I think that's all.
Everybody. Excellent idea for a 10-year anniversary. Yeah, well done to whoever's brainchild that was. Thanks very much, and have an awesome night.
Thanks, guys. I've got some more speeches to do on the and myself later, but now you can join the night. Tell me what to do.